10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes. Sorry I haven't been on recently. Tuesday night was the first show in a little while, doing the Premier League review show, which I enjoyed doing with Pete and Steve and Mike when he joined in. But tonight is all about the game tomorrow night, Friday, playing Nottingham Forest. Friday night football. It's been a while since we've been on a Friday. I can't remember the last time we were on, to be honest with you. But we got lots to go through. Lots for you to get our teeth sunk into. So please drop some comments through the show and let me know what you think is going to happen on Friday and what you think of the news coming out of the press conference and what you think the score is going to be. But the usual stuff, if you would like to become a member, there's the link. Top of the chat, all you got to do is click on it and you get put into a prize draw once a month. I've got a lovely Peter Beardsley print to give away from Falsenineltd Prints. From Twitter, brilliant account, do some great stuff, and the print is beautiful. I kind of want to keep it for myself, but no, it's going to be a prize to give away. And just a massive thank you to everyone who still supports the channel. This still does need updating. I do apologise, but thank you to everyone who supports us in the way that it's just unrivaled. It's amazing. So thank you so much. Evening, Lee. Hope you're all right. And 4-0 away win, Bazza, mate. I hope so. I really do. But 4-0, there we go. Hey up, Mark. Hope you're all right. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Lee. I really can't remember. But someone said they could get me a hold of a goalkeeper top. I am meeting Shea Given on the 6th of April. So I would love to get it signed. If they still want to donate it to the channel as a prize, I can give it away. It's entirely up to the person who offered it. I can't remember who it was. It was a while back, and things have obviously gone a little bit pear-shaped since then. But I am meeting Shea Given on the 6th of April, and I would love to get it signed and give it away. If someone would like to do that, that would be absolutely incredible. And hopefully I'll have 5-10 minute interview with him as well. Fingers crossed, and we can ask him some questions. And I would love to be able to talk about that for you. It was Mark. I thought it was Mark or Lee. I can't remember. I knew it was one of the 2 years. I just couldn't remember who it was. But that'd be amazing, Mark. Only if you can. You don't have to. Like I say, it would be amazing. Even if you just want to sign for yourself, I'd be happy to do that for you, mate. But if you want to donate it as a prize, that would be even better. But I can't believe I'm going to get to meet him. It's going to be incredible. And like I say, hopefully, due to Benfield FC, please follow them on Twitter. If you're in the Northeast, please go and watch them play. It's cheap as chips. They're a great bunch of lads. They've got a game coming up, which I forgot to put in my slides, which is a bit of a pain. But they are playing on the 18th of March is the next game. At 2 o'clock, doors open, 3 o'clock kickoff. So please go and support them. And that's where I'll be going for the night on Tuesday. Cheers, Mark. I really appreciate that. Drop me a message on Twitter, the usual stuff, and we'll sort it out. And it'll be a great prize. And I'll try and sort you out a ticket or something in the future if I can. Fingers crossed. Right. Press conference stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen it much on Twitter or you've seen the press conference itself, but Eddie Howe on Isak, before he got his concussion, he was in really good form in training. I thought he was outstanding in every aspect. Physically, technically, he was very good. Hopefully that's the start of a really good run for him. So obviously, Isak scored the header in the first half in the last game. Fantastic header. But it wasn't just his the goal that he scored, his runs and his link up with ASM, their understanding together seemed to be really good. So the way he was getting in down the left-hand side channel a lot, didn't really make the most of some of those opportunities, which I think he will in the future, because that's the sort of position he likes to come in from the left, cut inside and have a dig. And I think that could really work well in the future. So it's very pleasing that Isaac's back. We've got options. He can't play a full 90 minutes at the moment. We don't know why. Obviously, Howe's building him up into what he wants him to be physically fit as the team. He got 60 minutes out of him. Then Wilson came on and unfortunately didn't do too much. There's obviously issues over his health as well. We still don't know what's going on. It's going to be an interesting summer, isn't it, if we buy a striker or not, which I think we will. But Isaac was fantastic in those 60 minutes he played, and he's definitely going to start for me on Friday night, tomorrow night. Moving on to the next one was obviously Joe Willock. I thought he was absolutely superb against Wolves. Gets a lot of stick a lot of the times because he's not scoring the goals he did. But I think I've said this 100 times on the channel. He hit a purple patch. There was no pressure on him at all. He was only on loan. There was no price tag fee. He wasn't a permanent play. Thought he was going back to Arsenal. He was just enjoying himself. And he was coming on as a super sub most of the time and then taking advantage of tired legs. And everything fell for him, which a lot of people forget. The goal he scored against Fulham, I remember, he ran almost the whole length of the pitch, but the ball bobbled perfectly for him. It ricocheted off a few people and landed in the perfect opportunity for him. So did the Liverpool goal. And things like that haven't happened for him this season or last season. So we've just got to give him time. And we're reaping the rewards with him. I think he's a Rolls Royce of a midfield at times. And he should be getting an England call-up soon because he's that good. If he can just start scoring a few more goals like the goal he did against Chelsea, we will be flying. This is what Eddie Howe said on Joe Willock. I thought he was very good last week. I thought he emphasised the team in terms of his energy, but also his quality in the assist for Miggy with the timing and the weight of the pass. I'm delighted for Joe because he's a really likeable character. The other thing about him is why he's great in the dressing room. He's great behind the scenes, all that sort of stuff as well. But he did play the Bruno role very well, didn't he? In that little triangle on the right-hand side that we always talk about a lot. Bruno found himself at the back post in this move, which is unlike him. Obviously, we were searching for the second goal. But Willock timed the pass brilliantly for Miggy, and Miggy slotted it home. Yes, big deflection. Don't care how they go in. You know, still might have went in regardless. Because Miggy was looking to bend it in the far corner, wasn't he? So, but Willock, for me, quality player. Glad he's back from injury. Glad he's put all that behind him. And he's definitely going to be a player for this squad for a long time. So Eddie Howe also on the changes he made versus Wolves. Obviously, there was a few changes in there that we were sort of surprised that sort of weren't after his press conference. The whole Murphy one. It's vital you have the opportunity to do that. It's a long season, and the way we play is demanding. We ask a lot physically. It's nice to be able to pull someone back and give them a chance to rest. For me, it's just a natural process. So Miggy obviously being rested for Murphy. I wasn't particularly too happy with that, if I'm completely honest with you. I'm not a fan of Murphy as a top quality player. I don't think he is that. I think he's a squad player. He's a likable character, isn't he? Everyone likes him. The smiles, the little waves he does when people get sent off and the managers and at the end of the game and all this sort of stuff. I do like Murphy as a person. I just don't think he's good enough where we're going. He might see another season out and then we'll see what happens. But he has improved. His crosses were good. No one on the end of them, though, unfortunately. But yeah, Willock seems to go slightly under the radar. He does because he looks lazy at times, but he's not lazy. It's just the way. There's a few players who have been like that over the years, isn't there? But there you go. Miggy instinct is back of the net, but lovely ball from Mr. Willock. Hello, at Through Black and White Eyes. Hello, Eddie. Thanks for joining as always, mate. It's just great to have Miggy back on the score sheet again. 11 for the season, our top scorer. Just needs to create a few more goals for other people, and he'll have an all-round season for me. We'll have a great season, to be fair. Obviously, there was worries about Joelinton missing last week. He's missing tomorrow, but Willock stepped up to the plate in my eyes, so it wasn't really too much of an issue, Joelinton being missing. I think we'll miss him tomorrow night, though, because it's an away game, and, we like to have, Joelinton's just a quality player, isn't he? Eddie, I was speaking to the media ahead of Nottingham Forest. We want to go into the international break on a high and with positive momentum. If we can get a result in this game, I think we'll be really in a really good place. I think it's an important game for us. I think it's a massive game. I really do, especially with Brighton winning last night against Palace 1-0. Very fortunate from what I've heard and what I've seen of it. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm really tired. Kids have had me up all day. Very early this morning as well. Been a nightmare. But I think this is a massive game. I really do. It's important that we get the 3 points. It's important we go into the break winning 2 games on the bounce, because up next is Man United at St James's Park after the international break. And we want to go into that game on a high. I've got a feeling we're going to smash them, to be completely honest with you. I do not fear Man United at St James's Park. I think there's going to be something that's going to happen, especially after the cup final defeat and after Casemiro got his red card. So I am really, really looking forward to that game. But it is really, really important that we, that we really do get 3 points. Honestly, it's massive for us. You look as tired as I feel. Honestly, I'm knackered. I've only got 1 day at work tomorrow, and that's it for 3 weeks. I cannot wait. I'm going to try and do as much as I can as well. I'm going to get an early night tonight once I finish this. Do you think Coach Eddie is playing some of the lads to raise the eyebrows of others for sale? No, I don't. I honestly don't. I think he's playing them because he has to. He had to rest Miggy. Joelinton wasn't available. Isak obviously needed to come in for Wilson because Wilson's been off on form. I'd still like to see Target come back in. I don't think he will, but obviously I want to see more of Target. But Richie's leaving at the end of the season regardless. So, no, I honestly think he's playing them because he has to play them. And he has to give them minutes because other players need a rest. But Eddie Howe and Jacob Murphy, he's been brilliant behind the scenes. A real positive energy. I wish I had a positive energy at the moment. Every day in training, and he hones his skills meticulously. He's a player that wants to invest time into trying to find ways to elevate his game. I thought he was excellent last week. So that kind of comment to me says there's a potentially that he still might start tomorrow night. I mean, I wouldn't personally start him tomorrow night, but there's a chance that he could. I mean, I would bring Miggy back in. We're going to talk about that soon. But, I mean, he's such a likeable character, though, isn't he, Murphy? So there we go. Eddie Howe in the squad, similar to last week, we have a couple of knocks after a really intense physical game. Nothing major, a couple of missed training. But we have the majority available. So we're going to go into that, who's available and who's got knocks. But one quick stat from you from the Match Fact, a Newcastle United exclusive club. And this isn't a great one, really, in a way, but it is for a certain player. And it's for Miggy. Miggy Almiron has scored 30% of Newcastle's Premier League goals this season, 11 from 37, the highest share by a Magpies player in a single campaign since Luca Remy in 2013-2014. 33%, 14 out of 43 for Luca Remy back at that day. We need more players to chip in, is what that says to me. You can't rely on Miggy all the time to score goals. You need other players to be chipping in. So let's hope that starts to happen. Because, Miggy's not going to keep scoring goals left, right and centre. He's went through a purple patch. I mean, he might go through a purple patch again and score quite a few, but there's a chance that you won't as well. So we've just got to be careful, and we've got to make sure the likes of ASM, Joe Willock, Bruno, Isak, they're all scoring goals because we need them banging them in left, right and centre, don't we? Right, moving on then to injuries, potential players out. Look at Nottingham Forest. It's absolutely unbelievable for them. And the big one is Brennan Johnson is doubtful. I've heard that he's missing the game, but they put him down as doubtful. And Dean Henderson out as well, the goalkeeper. Obviously, they've got a better goalkeeper in goal at the moment, though, to be fair. Chris Wood says it's out, but he's actually... So just to let everyone know, Chris Wood is still technically on loan to Forest. There was an agreement, an obligation to buy in the summer if he triggers the release clauses. He has triggered those release clauses, but he's still classed as an on-loan player until the end of the season. When the transfer window opens again, then you'll make his signing permanent from that point. So even if he was available, he still wouldn't be allowed to play against us. For Newcastle, obviously, Emil Kraft, we all know about him. We have heard he's back in training, which is great news. Anthony Gordon's ankle injury sounds a little bit worse than what it is. He's obviously going to be out until after the international break. He's targeting the Man United game to be available. We'll just have to keep our ears to the ground about that one. Harrison Ashby, obviously, he came injured, so we're still nursing that one. And Joe Linton's obviously suspended. This is his last game for suspension. He's back for the Man United game, so he'll be chomping at the bit. I was fearing Chris Wood might come back to haunt us. A few people were, but it was a loan to the end of the season, obligation to buy if he triggers the clauses. It doesn't matter when he triggers them, they still can't purchase him until next season, until the transfer window opens. So he's definitely not available, regardless of injury or not. But Shelby's obviously going to be playing. Colback could be playing. Let's have a look at the Forest lineup. So Navas has been absolutely superb for Forest since he went there. So Sergio Aurier, to be fair. I'm a bit surprised at how well he's been playing, but he's looked good. Lodi, obviously we were interested in him. I'm quite glad we didn't get him. He hasn't looked anything of the player we all thought he was. Felipe Worrell at the back. The defence is obviously not great, is it? And they've got Remo, Jonjo, and Yates, and then Morgan Gibbs-White, who has actually been very good since he's moved from Arsenal. Andre Ayew is a weird one. Not a out-and-out goal scorer, but he works hard, he creates chances, he uses his pace well. He's a bit of a threat. And Dennis, obviously the player that we all thought we might sign from Watford, but he went to Forest. Forest signed everyone, as we know. Is obviously a threat because he is a very good player. The average age of 29, though, is quite high, which is a bit of a risk for them going forward in the future, especially they must be close to FFP after the amount of money they spent. But there we go. 4-3-1-2 is the formation as well. Very defensive for a team that's at home. But it obviously works for them. It's technically a 4-3-3, really, to be fair, so we can't really complain too much about that. Is Shelby already a permanent signing? Yes, he is, so Shelby can play. No need to say sorry, Leslie. And yes, Shelby is a permanent signing. Have to make sure we stop Shelby being able to pass the ball like he can, 100%. And that's where Bruno and Sean Longstaff will come into it a lot. Definitely going to be them too, because we want Willock further up the pitch. This is what I think will happen. Doesn't mean it will happen. I think it'll almost be an unchanged side, apart from I think Miggy comes back in after showing his hunger from the bench. I don't think Murphy did enough in the game. I mean, Miggy within 20 minutes scored the winner and almost set up Botman for a third, which would have been the icing on the cake, wouldn't it, if that had gone in? So I think he comes back in. I think the midfield picks itself in Bruno, Willock and Longstaff. Apparently Longstaff might have a little bit of a niggle, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. ASM deserves another chance. I thought he was good. His link-up play with Isak, as I was talking about down that left-hand side channel, was brilliant. Byrne is keeping his place, but I would like to see Target play instead, to be honest with you. Botman, Shaw and Trips and Pope, you know, the team almost picks itself again, doesn't it? Bar a couple of players. Isn't Longstaff injured, or is that a smokescreen? He's got a niggle. He's not been confirmed as out, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one, won't we? Looking at some figures, so obviously the game's tomorrow night. Both teams' form is not fantastic. I mean, we got draw, loss, win. But bearing in mind the losses were against Liverpool and Man City. Great win against Wolves, as we know. And then Forest, loss, loss. So that means they're due a draw if the pattern's going to repeat itself. Everyone's been voting. 61% say Newcastle are going to win, 5,803 votes so far, 1,978 votes for a draw, and 1,661 for a Forest win, adding up the percentage. A lot of Newcastle fans, I think. Gunners won. Do you think Coach Eddie? I'm not too sure on that one, Eddie. Sorry, mate. Gunners are 1-0 up. You must be in front of me, Eddie. I'm not watching the game. I don't really watch the Europa League, to be honest with you. Probably should, since we're going to be probably in that competition, but there we are. So head-to-head, Eddie's 1-1. That was obviously the thrilling opening day of the season when Shaw scored a screamer, and we won the game 1-0. And Wilson scored a lovely goal to make it 2-0. Head-to-heads, Forest have won 4, drawn 4, won 8. When Forest are 19-4 to win, they should win 17%, but they've only won 1% of those games at those odds. That's incredible. When we're 31-50, which is 62% of the time we should win, we actually win 71% of the time. So 9% higher. We're outperforming our odds, which is good. Was it Screamer? Was it? Oh, well, there we are. So yeah, I'm quite happy with those figures. Obviously, Forest only winning 1% when they're those odds. Newcastle winning 71% when they're odds. It's looking like an away win, quite comfortably, to be fair. But this is football; you just never know. Old players coming back to haunt us and all that sort of stuff. Now, head-to-heads. This is one where it takes us back a little bit, because in this tournament, the last time we played in the Premier League was 1999, and we beat them 2-1. If I remember rightly, that should have been a Peter Beardsley winner, I think. Sure it was. I could be wrong. We've also drew with them 0-0, drew with them 1-1, and drew with them 0-0 in 1994. So we had to go way, way back in the archives to actually find a Newcastle win, to be honest with you, at the City ground. The 1996 1-1 was a pain in the backside. I'm sure that was when Steve Stone broke our hearts, the Geordie scoring, and then we went to Blackburn and got beat by another Geordie. Horrible. But if we just look at Forest, but in all tournaments, there was obviously the 2-1 in 2016 really hurts. That Houlihan, I think it was Houlihan. The one that went to, it wasn't Houlihan, it was another player went to Villa. I can't remember his name. Someone will remember it in the chat. But yeah, that one really hurt. We had 2 players sent off. We saved 2 penalties and we still got beat 2-1. 2011 in the EFL Cup, the 4-3 was a bit of a thriller. But we also got beat 3-1 in the UEFA in the Carabao Cup, and it was 3-1, and that we even had a full strength team up that day. We had Rondon on the pitch, we had Perez on the pitch, we had everyone, but we just didn't care about the competition. We were just, looking at survival, weren't we? Really, Premier League survival, Premier League status was more important than winning the Carabao Cup, and obviously how things have changed. But it shows you in recent times, Forest have really had the upper hand a little bit. Winning 3 and losing 1. But this is the Premier League, though, isn't it? This is a completely different kettle of fish. I think it's our time now, isn't it? Slightly off topic, but if Man U or Arsenal win the UEFA Cup, they get a place in the Champions League. If they finish in the top 4, anyway and qualified, does the extra place go to the team that's fifth? Phil says no. I'm honestly not sure. I don't know how it works. I think there's only 4 allowed. I know it drops down to 5 next season, doesn't it? I thought it could be a backdoor to the Champions League. Yeah. Obviously, Phil thinks no. I honestly don't know. I wouldn't like to answer it, but we'll go with what Phil says. But there we go. They're the score lines recently. But again, this is the Premier League now. It's Forest's first time in the season. Their home form is really keeping them alive. Get your scores in, guys, because we're only doing a half an hour tonight. So let me know what your scores are, and we'll have a look at the Premier League standings at the moment. So Forest are now 14th. They were higher than that, but I've always said this for weeks. Their position flattered themselves because they won a few home games, and that propelled them up the table while everyone else was losing around them. But now they're starting to get dragged back in it. They're only 2 points off the bottom 3 after Bournemouth's amazing win against Liverpool, beating them 1-0. Their goal difference is the same of Bournemouth, but if Leeds get a win, that puts Forest in the bottom 3 if everybody else wins as well because of the goal difference. That's how tight it is at the bottom of this league at the moment. It's absolutely mental. Anyone up to Palace, 12th downwards, is in trouble. And they're looking over their shoulder because 3 points for Bournemouth, they're on 27. And that could take them up to 12 14 for either of the way their goal difference is. But it just shows you how tight it is. And I think Forest is still in big trouble unless they keep winning the home games. They still need another 15 points to get clear of that bottom 3 and to be safe this season. I'd say 41, probably the safe zone. Do you guys reckon the same? 41, 42 points? Obviously, you want to get to 44 or something like that to make it 100% sure, but it just shows you how tight it is at the bottom. You know, a couple of wins gives you so much confidence and it'll lift you so far up the table out of that relegation zone. If results go your way, it's crazy. Looking at the best half of the table, the top half, obviously we're on 44 points. Liverpool 2 points behind us, the same as Brighton after their win last night. We really need 3 points today. It'll take us to 47, 1 point behind Tottenham with a game in hand, but Tottenham play at the weekend, so we'll have 2 games in hand again. We need to hope that Tottenham keeps slipping up, Liverpool keeps slipping up, and hopefully Brighton slip up as well. I think they're playing Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure. Brentford are obviously only 3 points behind us as well. I think Fulham are going to start falling away a little bit now. And if Chelsea put a run together, you can't rule them out. They're only 7 points behind us. But we just got to keep looking up. We've got a great goal difference of plus 19. We need to keep on going. If we beat Forest and then beat Man United, we'll be on 50 points. You know, and we could potentially overtake them. You just never know. We've got a game in hand on them as well. Got to keep looking up. Got to keep staying positive. And we're in a fantastic position and we deserve to be where we are because our performances have been excellent all season. Even in the draws, we've been unlucky. Yes, I'll be doing the watch along, Leslie. I've finished work at 7, so I'll be flying home and hopefully I'll be able to get logged in and do everything. It's in YouTube set for 20 to 8, I believe. Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? But let's have a look at the scores of what people have put. Mark's put 3-1. Isaac to get a brace. I would love that. 2-0 to the Toon. I think I put 2-1, if I can remember rightly. Yeah, 2-0. Chin up, Leslie. Eddie laughing. 4-0 to the Toon. I think we finish it. I think we finish this weekend. I think we'll beat them, but 4-0. Team in 4th would miss out. Remember Everton when Liverpool won Champions League but finished outside top 4. That's interesting. That is. But that's when they won the Champions League. This is a team that's winning the UEFA Cup to then be automatically qualified for the Champions League. So I'm not too sure that would mean the fourth team would miss out because they'll already be in the top 4 as well. West Ham have won more games in Europe 9 than they have in the League 6. That's crazy. I love stats like that. 3-0 Newcastle, Bruno bicycle kick. You see into the future, Eddie. Excellent. See you then. Yes, you will, Leslie. Evening, I believe black and white. I hope you're well. We're just finishing, I'm afraid, though. You've missed it. It's only a half an hour show tonight due to being by myself and just going through quickly what we think is going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to say 2-1. I think it'll be a tight game. I think we'll concede because I think they're a home team. They play well at home. Brennan Johnson not being available, hopefully, fingers crossed it stays like that, will be the big plus for us. But as long as we go at them, we play the way we play and we dominate the game, we create enough chances, I think we'll get enough chances against a Forest team that's lacking confidence at the back. Hey up, pal, I hope you're well, mate. And then hit the likes on the way out, people. Yes, please. Yep, sorry, pal, you're a little late. Please like, subscribe, and share to socials to help us grow. Thanks, Leslie. And that would be great if everyone can do that. But as I was saying, 2-1 win, I think. I think Isak will be on the score sheet again. I think ASM's finally going to score a goal this season. I say this season. He's already scored one. But I think he's going to score again. Has he got 2? No, he got 1. 1 and a couple of assists, hasn't he? So let's hope it goes to plan. Let's hope we put in a good performance like we did against Wolves. And I think we will run out winners. But I still think it'll be tight. Glad to hear it, mate. Got some info for you. I've seen some scouting for the Toon this week. Ooh, interesting. And Leslie says, oh, as well. But guys, on the way out, please hit that thumbs up button. Please consider subscribing. And please consider hitting the link in the chat, which means you can become a member. And like I say, thank you to all the members. This does need updating, but you are all amazing. And I really appreciate your support. And we'll have a prize draw coming up. Dream come true, literally. Osserman, Diaby. There's been that much talk. Madison. There's been so many. Osserman. Valovic. I could go on, can't I? The amount of rumours that we've got. But join me tomorrow night for the watch along. It'll literally just be before kickoff. I'll be live. And we'll watch the game together and hopefully celebrate 3 points together. Take care till then, guys.